Global Supercross Series makes its way to Northern California's Bay Area. Stunning AT&T Park in beautiful San Francisco, California is the next stop for the high-flying circus. San Francisco, the beautiful city by the bay. That's the Bay Bridge just off to the right, connecting San Francisco back to the Oakland-Berkeley area here in Northern California. Down along the wharf is where you find AT&T Park, and that's where we are racing Supercross. Before we drop the gate of the main event, here's Aaron Bates with the Progressive Direct pre-race report.
Well, a guy that just rode around on his hot lap with a bit of a hint of a grin on his face, the number 4 Ricky Carmichael, back for action again this weekend. The reason why he's smiling right now, the track is starting to get heavily rutted, it's starting to get rough, and that's just how he likes it. Just like outdoor racing, he's ready, he's fired up, and he's just waiting for the gate to drop.
There is the one they call the GOAT, greatest of all time, Ricky Carmichael. As we look at our Honda starting grid, Carmichael will be there, having won this race before on a Honda, going to try to do it tonight on a Suzuki.
Well, Ricky looks pretty good. His heat race was 5 seconds faster, so I'd say he's got a pretty good chance.
Here's the Honda up close, 20 riders for 20 laps. 25 points at stake towards the AMA title. Carmichael, the reigning AMA Series champion. James Stewart trying to take it away from him for his first ever title. There's our onboard camera, Michael Byrne, on that Rockstar Suzuki.
If you notice right here on Ricky Carmichael's helmet, on the end of his visor, you can see real close, there's a goggle lens taped to that. James Stewart, another Oakley goggle rider, they both have the same thing. That tells me that there's a lot of roost coming from the track and they want a little longer visor to protect their goggles.
It's going to be Chad Reed getting the whole shot as a bunch of riders got together in the first corner.
Nathan Ramsey, his teammate, was in there pretty close and went down on the inside of the first turn. He's in last place. But his teammate's out front with the lead.
Chad Reed, James Stewart, and Ricky Carmichael running 1, 2, and 3.
I tell you what, this is just what the fans are looking for here. The top 3 fastest qualifiers, top 3 fastest supercrossers in the world out front.
And don't forget, Jeff, that earlier this year, Chad Reed, with a serious injury to his shoulder, his right shoulder, has ridden with a lot of pain, and he's out front here in San Francisco, and that shoulder's still not 100%.
Yeah, but he has definitely raced himself into shape, and he keeps getting stronger, and the pain is being relieved each week. Right now, this is just what he needed to do. Chad Reed, he's got to be feeling great right now about this start, and he's not losing any time here.
Let's go back and take a look at the start here in San Francisco.
Take a look right here on the inside. Nathan Ramsey going down, slowing up about 6 riders. Good picture of him. He gets bumped by number 40 and just washes the front end out.
There's Chad Reed, the Australian rider, a former champion. Boy, Jeff, he came out this season so fast, taking a win earlier up in Canada.
Well, and the track was pretty rutted up there in Toronto when he won that event, and he's, like I said, he's been tough. He's been grinding it out here.
And that night in Toronto, he physically went bar to bar with James Stewart. It was a very rough physical race, and he held Stewart off.
Well, as we've seen all night here in San Francisco, it's been one of those nights where there's just been a lot of friction. There's been a lot of bar banging.
And right behind these two comes Ricky Carmichael on the Suzuki. These two get together and go down. Carmichael's in perfect position to steal the win.
Yeah, Stewart's putting on a great charge here. Was wheel-to-wheel, backed off a couple of bike links, but all these guys making it through this rhythm section clean.
Chad Reed's best lap so far, 43.6. Stewart down to a 42.8. Carmichael a 43 flat.
Now, you know Chad Reed, he can feel that pressure. He knows that Stewart's all over him right now. They can feel the crowd. You can sense the crowd when they start hyping. You don't know what's going on behind you.
Here comes Stewart, hard to the inside. Crowd going crazy here in San Francisco, cheering on the monster factory Kawasaki rider.
4 sneaking in there. He knows he doesn't. Oh, big mistake by Stewart.
And here comes Reed to capitalize on the inside. And Carmichael closing on the inside. Stewart with the big whip, but it doesn't gain him a position.
It did not gain the position, but he definitely gained some time. That's going to be one of his passing spots that he's going to put in there. He may save it for this next lap.
A fourth of the way through the main event. Lots of racing left to go.
Carmichael's off the track.
He went right into the tough blocks, Jeff, and that cost him a ton of time.
Luckily, he saved that. He jumped to the inside of the tough blocks, didn't even land on the track. Woo. Stewart makes another big mistake in this Windham section.
And all that does is allow Chad Reed to open up the gap. Let's go back and take a look at the progressive direct hole shot replay while these two get separated.
Chad Reed there gets on the brakes just enough, drives everybody wide, takes the progressive direct hole shot award.
Chad Reed seems to really like these rough racetracks.
Well, I think so, and it seems like his shoulder injury and all that is pretty good. He's put in some pretty clean laps when Stewart, Carmichael both made mistakes in the rhythm section in the last lap, and now look at this. Oh, already at lap 6, they're coming into traffic. These guys are really moving.
Catching up to number 917, Eric Sorby, who runs in 20th.
And each lap that Reed stays out front, he's going to gain confidence. But each lap that Stewart is behind, he's going to see Chad's lines.
Oh, and Sorby gets in the way of Reed, and there goes Stewart.
That was unfortunate. Man, that is not the way that you like to lose the lead. I don't know what happened there. Maybe Chad thought Sorby was going to hang it tight and he would stay high, but it definitely worked out in the favor of James Stewart.
Stewart back out front now.
You know, I've been a little...
Oh! Stewart throws it away, and Reed stumbles getting by. Here comes Carmichael into second. And the bike stays running, Jeff.
Unbelievable. It looked like he missed a shift. That's what it looked like to me. We'll check out the replay because the front end just dropped jumping onto that first tabletop.
And look at Carmichael now zeroing in on Chad Reed. Let's go back and see what happened to Stewart.
Comes out. Something happened right there. The bike stalled for some reason when he jumped onto the first tabletop. When he landed, the bike just stopped on him and put him over the bars.
Now Carmichael on the number 4, the yellow Suzuki with the red number plate. Oh, Carmichael looked like he was almost going off the side of the track again.
It has been an incredibly difficult track for all the riders tonight. Everybody has made mistakes. This reminds you of the race up in Canada, up in Toronto, where Chad kept it. He limited his mistakes, and the other guys are trying so hard. But
boy, Carmichael beat off the pegs and everything.
That was close there.
Halfway home. Now, Ricky Carmichael will tell you, Jeff, I just want to be in a position in those final 10 laps to win it. He's there. What has he got to do to get around Reed? Is it limiting those mistakes?
He has to limit his mistakes. Carmichael feels that he is stronger physically than any other rider out there, and so he needs to get to that point. But Stewart is about 4.6 seconds behind right now, and he actually picked up a second on the leaders that last lap. So this is going to develop into one of those classic Supercross races.
What Carmichael needs to do is get around Reed and try to check out if he can do it. Reed not making it easy. Here he comes.
Close racing. Carmichael just jumped to the inside there.
Oh! Chad Reed throws it away.
Oh, big mistake by Reed.
That's the one mistake he's made all night, and it's going to cost him the win.
Oh, that is a tough one to take. Just a lap of lapse in concentration. Oh.
Heartbreaking for Chad Reed, the grittiest rider in the field. Busted up shoulder, had the lead for more than half the race, and then just tosses it away.
He comes in here, just hits a slick spot, wet spot, and just launches the bike. Big mistake by Chad Reed.
Ricky Carmichael has the lead in San Francisco on his final stop here in the Bay Area. Can he hold on for the win? Stay with us to find out. Back to the most thrilling main event of the Supercross season so far this year. Ricky Carmichael, the leader, with about 7 laps to go. There he is. He's won this race on a Honda, trying to do it in his final appearance here at AT&T Park before he retires on a Suzuki, the reigning AMA AMP Mobile Supercross Series champion. They call him the GOAT, greatest of all time, and he's showing why again here tonight as he works through traffic.
So much traffic through there, and he still tripled into that, but man, he's trying to pick his way through. That's tough.
Behind him, James Stewart on the number 7 is in second. Chad Reed on the blue 22 rides in third. And James Stewart doesn't know what's wrong with that bike. And every time he launches himself into the sky, he's got to wonder if that engine's going to cut out.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was there. You know, could have just been a situation where he tapped the rear brake or something, and then he made a couple mistakes through the rhythm section also, just like we see Chad Reed here making a huge mistake coming out of the finish line turn. And that's because the ruts are so deep. He was trying to ride up high and just kind of got cross-redded.
Back up front is Ricky Carmichael, working so hard in his final season. Not even going to run the full year. You would think most people would just hang out and eat a lot of ho-hos and relax and be very casual. Not Ricky Carmichael. He works twice as hard as everybody else to try to get some more wins in his final year.
This race is not over by no means. Stewart's only less than 4 seconds behind him with 4 laps to go. And Stewart, I just can't believe he's this close to the lead after going over the bars, making those big mistakes, and he's still in this thing for the win.
There's the 7, James Stewart. It's been all about limiting the mistakes so far tonight, Jeff.
Yes, it has. And makes a little mistake there, jumps on, and just completely throws the bike down in between the tabletops and stepped through the bars. Next mistake, he triples out, comes up way short, kind of stalls it. Oh yeah, definitely stalled the engine there. Takes 2 or 3 kicks to get it going. That's a lot of time lost, but he's only 5 seconds behind the lead right now.
But very lucky, because these big 450s, usually when they stall, they're almost impossible to restart.
Yeah, once the engine heats up, it definitely gets a little bit tougher to start the bikes.
James Stewart, his fastest lap of 42.7 halfway through the race. Incredible conditioning.
But the guy that's having the night of nights right here, Carmichael, definitely was fired up coming into this event. Did not want James Stewart to go on a win streak. Still dedicated and determined to win races. You know, he's going to be retired after this season.
Chad Reed won the season opener up in Toronto. Carmichael won the other race in Canada, BC Place in Vancouver in December. After the Christmas break, the series got underway again in California, and it's been all James Stewart sweeping the last 3 races until here at AT&T Park. And it looks like Carmichael, with 2 to go, is going to stop the streak and get his second win. What's he doing there? Is he getting a little arm pump?
No, I don't imagine that it's arm pump. He might have just needed to shake something off. Maybe there was a piece of dirt around his jersey or whatnot, but
that's Mike Gosler, his mechanic, cheering him on.
Lap to go here. This is a great feeling. I visited with Ricky earlier tonight before the racing started, and he was feeling good, feeling lucky.
Jeff, he's riding one hand off those bars a lot. You got to be careful not making that mistake and throwing this away.
Yeah, a little mistake. Let's get it to the finish line first, you know.
It seems like something with that hand is bothering him. He's trying to clear it out. That's why he keeps taking that hand off the bars.
Might have been a situation where he caught a rock or something on his fingers. You never know, but the crowd is definitely pumped to see number 4 out front.
His final stop on his farewell tour here in San Francisco. Carmichael is going to pursue a stock car career when he's done racing motorcycles. And he's making his way around for the final time here at AT&T Park, on his way to another victory here in this famous ballpark. Ricky Carmichael, the winner in AT&T Park. another victory, his second of the year. We'll talk to him when we come back to the city by the bay. Well, that crowd still on their feet after witnessing the best race so far in the 2007 Amped Mobile Supercross Series season. Here are the results. Carmichael, Stewart, and Reed putting on an incredible show. Nick Way, we talked to him at the top of the show about the fuel issues last week in Anaheim. Top privateer finishing 5th tonight.
Yeah, and Tim Ferry getting in another 4th. This guy's been consistently running right behind those top 3.
Michael Byrne carried our on board with that Rockstar Suzuki. He fought his way up to 8th.
Ramsey recovering after that first turn crash to a 13th. Not a bad ride.
Ricky's teammate Ivan Tedesco looked great in his heat. Not so strong in the main as I'm sure he would have liked. Ivan finishing 14th for the Suzuki factory team. Well, let's meet the man they call GOAT, Aaron.
I tell you what, Ricky Carmichael, the man to ruin James Stewart's win streak. Ricky, I almost even hate to ask you this, but it looked like you were suffering from a bit of arm pump tonight.
Oh, dude, for the 10th lap on, I was so tight and almost went off the track. I'm the only guy that didn't fall out of the 3 of us, and I take it any way I can get it. They definitely made it easier than it should have been for me tonight, but it was just a wild race, wild for the fans, wild for TV, and that's what we need to do.
Now, some wild riding taking place. You had actually even landed on the tough blocks. What went on there?
Yeah, I just, we're going so fast, and it was really ruddy out there tonight because of the rain, and just hooked a right and landed off the track. I don't know how I saved it. I must be living right to save that, but glad to get a win, and man, just unbelievable.
Ricky Carmichael, he did what he set out to do.
All right, Aaron, of course, this is all about the road to Vegas. We're going there first weekend in May. That's where the championships will be claimed at Sam Boyd Stadium. Here's a look at the point standings, beginning with the world standings, where James Stewart has a 12-point lead over Chad Reed. We heard Ricky talking about arm pump, Jeff. What is he discussing there?
You know, that's an odd thing for a guy that trains as hard as Ricky Carmichael to say that he's got arm pump, but that just meant that the track was very demanding tonight.
Of course, that means the arm's pumping full of blood, having a hard time hanging on. Let's go back downstairs and meet the man who's leading both the AMA and the world standings. James Stewart's with Aaron.
Well, guys, he came up here. He's looking a little bit frustrated as he came off the track, but James, a little bit of wild riding taking place tonight.
Besides the lappers and probably the crashes, and besides all that, it was a good race. You know, I had fun. I have to say this was the funnest race I probably ever ridden in my life. I felt super good tonight, and man, I hate losing like that. You know, I made a stupid mistake. Mud got packed up on my foot peg, and I just hit it in neutral, and I didn't know it. And I went over the handlebars, and then Foss cut me off in this rhythm section, landed and stalled it. But besides that, I had a good time.
Time to take a look at our Toyota moving forward replay, but Jeff, actually in these replays, nobody moved forward, they just moved backward.
Well, unfortunately, James Stewart moves forward without the bike right there. Recovered. And see Chad Reed coming through here. Just rear end slips out a little bit, and the bike goes forward without Chad.
For Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates, this is Ralph Shaheen. So long from San Francisco, where Ricky Carmichael is your winner. CBS Sports coverage of the Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Series continues in 2 weeks as the series heads to Houston, Texas. Catch the action Sunday, February 11th at noon Eastern